So everybody by now knows the only way to get past Mojo's stage is to tap the old reset button after you destroy the terminal. Charles is on screen here as a reminder to remember the tip he gave you earlier about resetting the computer. Just tap reset on your Genesis and... What the f***?
Legends of Game Genie.
Welcome to Gamesboro's Game Genie series, where we use the Game Genie to make classic games more fun. In the Game Genie series, we might just absolutely destroy a difficult game like today with X-Men, or we might explore some of the crazier stuff that people have found over the years, such as incredibly high jumping in Super Mario Bros., for instance, or features that were never meant to be seen. Alright, now let's check out some Game Genie codes. The Genesis Game Genie allows you to put in a maximum of 5 codes, and today we're going to use every single line to kick Magneto's ass all the way back to Asteroid M. I'll also be dropping a 6th code on you towards the end of the video. For right now, let's talk about these 5 lines, starting from the top. Line 1, protection from most enemy hits. Line 2, protection from falling off screen. You won't lose any health when Jean Grey saves your X-Klutz from falling to his doom. Line 3, protection from spikes. Line 4, mutant power regenerates to full very quickly. Line 5, switch X-Men an infinite number of times. These last 2 codes are what changes the game from being pure unadulterated torture to being a blast to play. Oh yeah, look at how fast your mutant powers regenerate. I can tell you right now, we're going to play most of this game with Nightcrawler. The ability to pass through walls at will is real game changer stuff. It's going to be like the White House scene in X2. You've probably heard it before, but X-Men on the Genesis is hard. Like, really freaking hard. It doesn't hold your hand in any way and goes out of its way to punish you for making a mistake, or even skipping over certain cutscenes. Wow, it's crazy just how fast you can move through the stage with Nightcrawler. This is nuts. Very impressive that the design of the game can compensate for going through walls like this. Usually in a side-scroller, walls and impassable areas are intended to keep the player from leaving the play area and wrecking the game. Not so here. Really cool that the game doesn't freeze up or glitch out even with the chaos of using the mutant power regeneration code. Don't worry, I'm not going to make you pause the video at the beginning to get all the codes. Just check the description below. While you're at it, hit the bell, like, subscribe, or whatever it is that YouTube likes these days. So when it comes to 2-player mode, Player 1 gets all the benefits and Player 2 gets absolutely nothing. Keep that in mind if you have a buddy that also wants to play. Well, that was weird. I don't think you're supposed to fall there. But anyways, this is a great example of the spikes not being able to hurt you, and Gray coming in to save my dumbass without losing any health. It's pretty obvious, but Juggernaut is going to be no match for invincibility.
I'm scared of heights!
But I'm the Juggernaut.
Yes, now.
Wanna take you for a ride?
Alright, let's switch it up, shall we? After we finish up the first stage here, I'm gonna start skipping around so you can see all the other characters in action. So from here on out, in the Danger Room sections, I'm going to go ahead and show you what Professor X has to say, that kind of thing, but when it comes to the action, these areas are kind of boring, so I'm just going to speed it up so we can move on to the good stuff. Most of the music in the game is straight Garbo Jim's trash, but I think the music in this area is pretty good in comparison to the rest of the game. To avoid you seeing my embarrassing mishaps of being lost, I'm going to go ahead and you're going to see some fading in and out of different scenes so I can try to cover up my inability to find my way around. Something tells me that's not the way that you're supposed to do that. The hardware I'm using for this video is an Analogue Mega-SG with a Game Genie cartridge. Yeah, the Mega-SG does have a Game Genie built in that I could use, but I think most people want to see how this will work with the actual cartridge. To record the video, I'm using the original Avermedia Live Gamer Portable, so that I can record on one screen while being able to play with no input lag on another.
So, Gambit, you throw stuff.
Oh, he throws stuff all right. Deathbird is about to play victim to Gambit's kinetic energy. One of the many crazy things about X-Men is the story. Is it a simulation? Is it real? I know the last stage is supposed to happen in the real world, but what about the rest? Is it in the computer in the game? Are the events somehow occurring in the Genesis itself? Or maybe I'm putting too much thought into this. I'm just going to keep playing and try not to fall into an existential crisis. Skipping ahead to the Mojo fight, remember that you have to strike him from behind as you see here. Just like all of the other enemies in the game, you should make short work of this guy, and soon after, we'll get to the part where we have to tap the reset button to continue. So everybody by now knows the only way to get past Mojo's stage is to tap the old reset button after you destroy the terminal. Charles is on screen here as a reminder to remember the tip he gave you earlier about resetting the computer. Just tap reset on your Genesis and... What the f***? Alright, so we found out an important bit of information today. The original Game Genie is not going to work when you tap the reset button. I ended up trying this twice, and it sent me back to the Game Genie screen both times, even when I used the disable code switch that's physically on the Game Genie. No worries, my friends, we are dedicated to figuring this out. After doing some more research, I found that the built-in Game Genie on the Mega-SG will allow me to perform the soft reset required for X-Men, as well as enter a 6th code. So the code on line 6 here takes you straight back to Mojo's Future Crunch. I'm going to skip ahead so we can get back to where we were. I'll put this code in the description with the others. That's better. I am using a Mega-SG here, so it could very well have something to do with that. So if you try this on Genesis or Mega Drive, an actual system with a Game Genie actual cartridge, please let us know in the comments below if you have any success, because we would love to find a way to do this with real hardware. I had a friend give it a shot on an emulator, and using the soft reset option, he didn't run into this situation. I'm sure most of you that will be playing will most likely be emulating, so you're probably covered. Well, I don't want to spoil the final level of the game for you, so it's time for me to bid you a fond farewell. Let me know in the comments if you like the structure of this video. I want to make more of these videos, and I'd love to get your feedback. Now go watch X-Men 97 if you haven't already. That show is fantastic. My name's BeastTech, and it's been a pleasure running through these Game Genie codes for X-Men on the Genesis. See you next time on
Legends of Game Genie.